see. I am the greatest combat athlete of all time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Tell the Tape. I'm your host, Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C. And on today's episode, I'm going to be breaking down, that's right, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Guys, we are literally about a month away from watching these two guys officially scrap. This has been 2 years in the making, but this episode wouldn't be possible without our sponsor. Yep, that's right, I'm talking about lifting trucks. You may be 5'4", of twisted, still and sexual. Guess what, guys? On the street, I'm about 12 feet damn tall. So you guys make sure to go lifttrucks.com and get your lift on. Here we have it. Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Conor McGregor 22-6 versus Michael Chandler 23-8. Is anybody else surprised to know that that's how many losses a guy like Michael Chandler has? I had no idea. I mean, I knew he had, he'd lost to Alvarez in Bellator. I knew he lost to Will Brooks in Bellator, but Jesus, man, 8 losses. To Conor McGregor, 19 KOs. 19. This is why Conor McGregor is a risk taker. Conor McGregor is that type of guy. He lives by the sword, but he also dies by the sword. Right? With Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's a little more diversion. These are things that you have to kind of recognize. That means Michael Chandler can understand the different gears and paces. Right? With 11 KOs, 5 decisions, and 7 submissions. With Conor McGregor only having 1. Conor McGregor talks a big game, but both these guys are not that big. You know what I'm saying? Considering they like to talk about my height, he's 5'8". My wife's taller than this dude. 74-inch reach advantage is 71. The reach advantage goes to Conor McGregor, and the age too goes to Conor McGregor. And here we have it. Conor McGregor. Let's talk about the notorious. I tell you what, man. And as much shit as I do like to talk about Conor McGregor, he has done some special things. And I will say this: one of the things that Conor McGregor is good at is his distance recognition. Conor McGregor's greatest gift and attribute is his anticipation of when is it that he has to go. His distance recognition, right? His striking and knockout power. I mean, back before he started going literally A1, right before he started making over hundreds of millions of dollars, I mean, with this distance recognition and his ability of anticipation, alongside with his accuracy, pinpointing the right spot, always in position. And that's what's made Conor McGregor too was this, in particular at 145 pounds. But let's not forget the mental warfare. Conor McGregor had that ability of getting into people's minds, just like he did with Jose Aldo, just like he did with a lot of these guys, and he was able to get inside their damn mind, manipulate them to get them to doubt themselves, to even pull out of fights. I mean, there's been so many fighters who have pulled out of fights with Conor McGregor because they couldn't take the heat. And his confidence. Is it confidence or is he just having fun? I mean, that's a question that I have. But if Conor McGregor is confident, if Conor McGregor is confident like he used to be back in the day, alongside with all the skills that he has, but this right here is what makes Conor McGregor dangerous. It's his confidence. He believes that I shoot balls of lightning from my eyes and thunder from my ass. Like Conor McGregor, when Conor McGregor is truly prepared and he's focused and he's confident, that's where Conor McGregor is dangerous. But without further ado, I love to talk about weaknesses, right? We all have them, and particularly Conor McGregor and Conor McGregor's damn gas tank. Conor McGregor's gas tank, it's very, very suspect. And the reason why Conor McGregor's gas tank, the only time that I've really seen Conor McGregor really pace himself with this power is when he beat Nate Diaz the second time. When he beat Nate Diaz the second time, that was a war. He was able to throw power, just enough power to last a round, to give himself that minute to eventually start back up and start kicking legs and start doing X, Y, and Z. But that's the first and only time that that's the first and only time where I was able to see Conor McGregor really bring his gas tank and really maintain that gas tank. Other than that, he fought Poirier. He fought a lot of these guys. He was just, boom, the gas tank just pretty much depleted. And his submission defense, 67% of his losses are from submissions. I mean, talk about, and this goes back to this. If Conor McGregor's gas tank, if he understands his threshold, I'm not saying that, I'm sure he does have some mean scientists or whatnot that help him, because apparently he spends about $1 million too, like just like LeBron James on his physical training. But I think more importantly, it's the psychology and him really understanding that threshold. And the other thing too is he's coming off a serious leg injury. I mean, guys, he broke his damn leg. I mean, the thing literally snapped. I mean, what's Conor McGregor gonna do? I mean, is he 100% recovered? It happened to Anderson Silva. It happened to Chris Weidman. I mean, those dudes, they never came back the same. Could Conor McGregor be different? I don't know. That's a question to ask when it comes next month. 35 months since his last fight. I mean, his last fight, guys, was to Poirier. This is still during COVID. This is still when people had to wear masks. You know, it was 7/10 of 21. I mean, you're talking about 35 months. Jesus, man. Can you guys give me an actual time that's 3 years? Over 3 years?
A little bit under.
Yeah, a little bit under 3 years. I mean, time, guys. I mean, if there's one thing that I could say, ring rust does exist. Like, ring rust does exist. And I think when you take that much time off, like, sometimes I wonder at this point if Conor McGregor is just doing it just to do it. You know, does he really want to conquer it? Or is he just having fun? And I feel like because he's accomplished so much, I do feel like maybe he's just having fun. But let's get to the hype man, the crowd pleaser, Michael Chandler. What are his strengths? It's his wrestling. This guy's a D1. All-American. I don't know if you guys knew that, but does he use it? Will he use it against a guy like Conor McGregor? He's gonna have to. So I tell you what, this guy's crazy enough to eventually start. If you go blow to blow with Conor McGregor in the first minute, he will put your lights out. And he does have a relentless pace, you know. The relentless pace that he does have, like he will kind of call you in. If you watch that fight with Justin Gaethje, if you watch that fight even with a guy like Dustin Poirier, like he will make the fight a fight. And he does have knockout power. I mean, he's knocked out some people, man. He's knocked out Tony Ferguson with that up kick, you know, in Bellator. He did knock out my boy Patricky Pitbull with that overhand right. I mean, the dude's knocked out some people, man, and he's and the reality is, it's just like Conor McGregor, is he's a finisher. He really is a finisher. He has power on both hands, but can he bring this in with that power? Because who knows, guys? He may want to get on top of Conor McGregor and just ground and pound him to the next world. But let's talk about his weaknesses. He's just like Conor. His threshold. He brings a relentless pace, but at times it could also be reckless. I go back to that Gaethje fight. I go back to that fight with Dustin Poirier. It's like he wins that first round and then, you know, if he could understand just keeping the pace like that and knowing when to peak, that's how you still around. And I think that's yet to be done from him and Conor McGregor. And he's too linear, too inside the pocket. I mean, can we see him, you know, make angles, make angles, look for takedowns? At times I feel like he's a little too linear. And because he's a crowd pleaser, he tends to brawl too much. Like he gets the high, like he really think, you know, he goes back to the Spartan days, but little do you know, you keep losing. And as cool as you are, we saw it happen to Mike Perry. It happened to a lot of these guys that were crowd pleasers. The UFC at one point was like, you know, next. And that's how it is, and that's the reality. And it's just like Conor. 19 months. Maybe Conor's, you know, a little less than, he's a lot less than Conor McGregor, but still, 19 months. I mean, it's gonna be 20 by the time, so close to 2 years. I mean, since the last time he's fought. I mean, that says a lot. So will he be 100% ready for the Notorious? Yeah, tell the tape here. Strikes landed per minute, 5.32. You know why? In comparison to Michael Chandler, because this guy right here is a risk taker. He likes to put people out, and this is what's made Conor McGregor successful. But this is the same reason why he lives by the sword and also dies by it, because he's willing to go for broke to win. These are the guys that are dangerous to fight. Strikes absorbed per minute. Like in other words, who has better defense? Because he takes more chances, this guy's down. And because this guy takes less chances, his defense is actually better. Takedown accuracy. Wow. Conor McGregor, really? Is this? Are you guys sure you guys have this right? Are you guys sure? Are you positive? That doesn't seem right. But if it's true, who knows, man? Maybe Conor McGregor does have something up his sleeve. Maybe he will bring in some of that wrestling against Michael Chandler. So from 56 to 38%, that's a big difference. To take down defense, and you have to give it to Michael Chandler. I mean, Michael Chandler comes from that background, heavy hips, he's stocky too, he's 5'8". Submission average, and it all goes back to Michael Chandler. I mean, I love the fact that this fight is a lot more even than I've actually thought in reality. If you really break down this fight, I mean, they're both 5'8". They both have, close to about 30 fights. They're both similar in age, with Conor McGregor being 3 years younger. I mean, this fight, if Conor McGregor is prepared, if Conor McGregor could defend some of the takedowns from a guy like Michael Chandler, then I could easily see him winning. I think his timing, his position, a lot of stuff that he was talking about, he could do. But my biggest thing too with Conor is, has he fixed that wide stance? Very kickable lead leg, and Michael Chandler in the past has kicked people, and he might invest in that. But who is it? Who is it that takes the crown on this? You know what? Ironically, dude, I kind of like McGregor. I mean, if McGregor was to win, he would definitely get that shot at 170 pounds. But I just see Michael Chandler he's going to bring in the wrestling. I think he wants to get the win. I think he wants to get the win because for some reason you beat Conor and it still kind of brings you into the limelight. Puts you in a position where everybody kind of somewhat wants to be like. Think about what Conor has done to Nate Diaz. He's made him famous. I hate to say it, but even a guy like Khabib, he was able to elevate his platform because it was good versus evil. And every time somebody fights Conor McGregor, and whether Conor McGregor wins or loses, somehow the people who beat him, they eventually become just bigger superstars. Even though Conor McGregor hasn't won a fight in the last 4 or 5 years. But that being said, I gotta put my money with Michael Chandler. He's gonna bring in the wrestling. He's gonna fatigue Conor in the beginning. If there's any way that Conor McGregor wins, I think he knocks him out in the first maybe 2 minutes of round 1 or the first 2 minutes of round 2. But the further the fight goes on, if this guy tactically does not have a game plan, I gotta go with Conor McGregor. But that being said, I do believe that he's gonna bring back that Division 1 wrestling. And for that reason, I gotta go with the crowd pleaser, Michael Iron Chandler. What do you guys think? And this episode was brought to you by the one and only Lifted Trucks. You guys may be 5'4" of twisted steel sex appeal, but guess what, guys? On the street, I'm about 12 feet damn tall. So you guys make sure to go to liftedtrucks.com and get your lift on. Till next time, I'm out.